Hey everyone, welcome back to Elevator Pitch. My name's Cody,
I'm Tim.
and you're not gonna do
Welcome. Oh yeah, you talk. You do the thing where
it.
you're
No,
like,
but that's the thing. You gotta interrupt and invite them on the elevator.
oh, welcome to the elevator, all rickety. I don't know why all these TV and movie execs keep getting on this thing with us, but for some reason they still do.
Yeah,
Because we're still doing this. This is episode 8. 8?
I think 8. I think 8.
10?
I think I think it's 8.
Are we at double digits? We're not double digits.
We're not double digits. I'm pretty sure you were. I think we were both right, and it's 8.
All right. Well, it's not 1 and it's not 10, so it's somewhere in the middle.
Yes,
I think it's 8.
I think it's 8.
Anyway, welcome back to the elevator. I'm Tim. This is Cody.
Yep.
We do elevator pitches, but not really, because an elevator pitch is only supposed to be like a minute long.
That's the joke. The elevator broke down. Now you got to listen to us talk for who knows how long. 30 minutes? Hour and 30 minutes?
Unless you want to stop the podcast. But don't do that.
I mean,
that's lame.
That'll hurt my feelings, but it's fine.
I mean, I won't know. I might know.
I might. No, we know.
Yeah, we'll know. We have metrics.
Yeah.
We look at them. We look at them all the time. I'm looking at them right now.
Yeah, look.
Hey, welcome to the Chaos Is the Show.
Yes.
This one's probably going to be another chaotic one.
Probably chaotic, maybe a little short. But they don't.
We said it last time, and we definitely went like an hour 15.
Yeah, but that's still shorter.
Is it?
I mean, we've had a couple that pushed
okay,
2
well,
hours.
The Star Wars one, I feel like that was the one that like we were both like, no, we got to do this one.
We got to do this right.
Justice. You know what I mean? Not even right, because there's really no wrong answer to what we're doing.
Wow. You could have a whole arc in your movie about Finn and Rose, and ultimately leads to nowhere for an hour.
I didn't make that movie.
I know. I'm just saying, but that would have been not right.
It would have been pointless and not right, and ultimately just a waste of my time and money. Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of justice, we're gonna be making sequels or pitching sequels to a movie that starred Justice Smith amongst others. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
It's dear. I'm not going to do that.
No, don't do that. That's copyrighted to blah blah blah. Travis, don't come at us. I mean, if you want to chat, buddy, like we could talk, but don't.
Sorry, I've watched too much CR recently.
Yeah, Tim's been in a rabbit hole of campaign 2, which is great.
Yeah.
Anyway, I need to get back on the campaign 3 wagon.
You do. We've talked about this many times.
Yeah.
I feel like you're not gonna do it.
No, I'm going to. I legitimately plan to. I keep
talk about it a lot.
I keep getting distracted. Fair. Every time I'm like, all right, today's the day. I'm gonna get back into campaign 3, and then something else happens, and I'm like, all right, I'll get there.
Today's the day.
Today is the day, and then something else happens, and I'm like, all right, no. Today's oh, okay.
Day 1 with Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Day 1 with Alzheimer's.
It's not funny if you got all. Well, if you got Alzheimer's, you probably don't remember that joke. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I have family members. It's not. I'm definitely getting it.
You have doomed yourself. You have it right now. You're just thinking about stuff.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Elevator Pitch. I'm Cody. Oh, wait. I've already done this. So we're going to be talking about sequels to Dungeons & Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. If you haven't seen it, I'll try it. Well, there's probably going to be spoilers from that movie.
Yeah, you're doing the... Yeah,
I'm going to have to talk... I'm going to try and talk vague, but it's probably not going to be vague at all. Like, I'm going to be like, yeah, so Kylo Ren dies. Like, that's how vague I'm going to be. So,
and then he murdered Han Solo.
Fun fact, off topic tangent. I was working the opening of Force Awakens, and I think me and Steven were both like in the lobby, and some dude
100% had it ruined.
Some dude came out talking near. I think it was me, him, and Cooper. Maybe I can't remember, but guy came out and he's like, I can't believe he was Han Solo's son, and then he just kills Han Solo. And I was like, I'm gonna kill that guy.
Yeah, so I'm glad I got a chance to see it beforehand.
Anyway, this movie stars Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, I don't know how to say this guy's name, Reggae Jean Page?
Sure.
I don't know. Justice Smith, Sophia Lillis, Hugh Grant, Chloe Coleman, Daisy Head. It's either Heat or Head. I think it's Head.
It's H-E-D.
Yeah, H-E-A-D.
It's H-E-A-D?
Yeah, Heat?
It's Head, man.
Head? I know. I know.
How do you spell head?
Okay. How do you spell read? How do you spell red?
Oh my god. All right, keep going. Keep going. We're not going to have a linguistic
I'm just saying
now.
People say their names weird.
That is true.
Okay.
You know, why is it Arkansas and not Arkansas?
You know, Colonel, no R.
No, Colonel doesn't even look like Colonel.
No,
anyway,
it doesn't. So I'm just saying.
This isn't logistics pitch.
No, but I'm also just saying I'm not like out of my like realm of like.
I'm, for sake of brevity, sorry if I'm watching too much Critical Role. We'll just go with Head.
Yeah. Anyway, this movie's pretty great. It's basically just a really classic D&D story. It's you get a bunch of random adventurers. Some of them sort of know each other. There's a handful that don't, but I guess they all still, like, one way or another, people know each other in this movie, except for like the Paladin.
Yeah. Which, by the way, honestly, in my opinion, he was the coolest character, and I was sad he wasn't around that much.
One of the coolest characters, and he was literally just a side NPC.
I know. I was kind of, honestly, a little disappointed in that.
Yeah.
Wish he was around a little bit more.
Yeah, he's coming back in mine. Essentially, it's they're a group of thieves. One of them betrays the group with an evil witch that just wants to, like, murder everybody to take power, I guess.
Yeah.
Become like a lich lord almost. I don't even know how to.
They kind of want to bring, because they kind of doing it to bring back this god, evil demon god thing that's sort of Vecna.
It was Vecna, but not Vecna. Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but it was like the whole entire time, like, why didn't you just go the Vecna route? Like, I know they just did it in Stranger Things, and it's kind of like the popular evil bad guy in D&D at the moment. But like, if you're gonna do it, just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Anyway, it was a really fun representation of what a D&D campaign is like, where it's like, it wasn't nonstop action. It was a lot of like, they were very good at showing how D&D was like failed roles and stuff. Like there were moments where like they're trying to talk to like the corpses to try and find information about that helmet, and you're like, oh cool, y'all are rolling real poor on this. And it was very evident that, like, oh cool, like that first guy they questioned, y'all rolled nat ones several times in a row,
or didn't ask the right questions.
Yeah, or didn't like that. But that's what I'm saying, like your intelligence rolls were failing. Like there were several moments of like, you barely squeaked that one out. Like it was good. It was real good. They were very.
I like the fact that they had to like go through everybody in order to do it. Like it was very much like how a DM would run something like, well, that guy only knows that information, so you gotta go to that guy.
Yeah, you gotta go to that guy.
You gotta go to that guy, and then they took you to the wrong person, so I gotta go back to that other guy. Yeah,
no, it was great. It was absolutely the best. Yeah. They handled all the magical items very well, and how like, you know, like just like they needed to take a rest, and like, you know, they needed to do this, and like he had to attune to the helmet. Like there was like just little things. I was like,
the attuning to the helmet thing I thought was awesome.
That was very good. It was very good. And that character, so when it comes to D&D, I've only played a few times, but I do know that character that Justice Smith plays, his great grandfather, was it? I can't remember if it was two greats or not. His ancestor,
it was just one great.
His ancestor in the helmet is an actual D&D character. Like it's an actual like lore, like it's an actual lore character.
Okay, that's cool.
So I thought that was interesting because I watched some of the behind the like scenes and like actor studio stuff. It was a lot of fun. But overall, they handled a D&D movie very well. And so I'm sure they'll make a sequel. They have infinity of content. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can just...
Well, the beauty about D&D, and this kind of isn't our pitch, is that you can literally do almost anything.
Yeah, so... And that's the gist of that movie. And so to basically sort of hop into the pitches, I'm going to be going first.
Yeah.
I'm testing a theory, which is what we were just referencing, which is that you can take... I won't say anything because I'm sure someone will prove me wrong. You can take almost anything in media and turn it into a D&D campaign. Like, I could pretty much, like, you can't see it on the camera right now, but I have a wall of movies over here. I could walk over and just sort of close my eyes and point and then make a D&D campaign out of whatever I land on. Not necessarily a full-blown campaign, but like a one-shot. It'd be real easy to do.
Yeah.
And that's usually what I tell people when they're like, I've never gotten into D&D. I kind of want to like do a one-shot with some friends. And they're like, I don't know what to do. And I don't want to just do like one that's like just a little module or something that like everybody's done. And I'm like, okay, do you like Zelda? Do you like Mario? I'm like,
take it, pull from there.
Take that story and pull monsters from D&D. There you go.
It's just like as far as like character creation goes, didn't you build Link in D&D Beyond?
I did. I played as Link in a Discord D&D
Nice.
campaign. It was a lot of fun. The DM was really willing to work with me, even though it was ridiculous because like I basically like shoehorned in like a Sheikah slate and stuff like that. Like it was weird, but I made it work, and it was a lot of fun. So I still have that Link character on my phone on my D&D Beyond. But yeah, I think you can sort of make a one-shot D&D out of any movie or game. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not gonna just straight up tell you, but I think it'll be really obvious what I'm doing. I think it'll be really obvious.
Okay.
And it's not Fast and Furious. If you've watched this or listened to this podcast, you know that like we joke all the time about like it's family. Like
it's gonna happen in one of these episodes.
One of these days it's gonna happen. And I was real tempted because Michelle Rodriguez is in these movies, and I was like, I could just make it Fast and Furious, and they're just gonna do airship racing. I'm not. I didn't do that. I didn't do that. But I'm just saying.
Can you drift on a horse?
No, it was gonna be airships. It would like legitimately. If I was gonna do it, it'd be airships. But if you've watched a Bollywood movie, you can absolutely drift on a horse.
Oh my god, dude!
Guys,
we can have a whole conversation about Bollywood movies.
If you haven't watched Bollywood movies,
don't sleep on them, man. They're ridiculous, but like in the best ways.
Do yourself a favor and go watch some Bollywood.
Go watch a couple Bollywood.
They're so
go
good.
Watch Kim Bokdish.
Yeah. Oh my God, Kim Bokdish. Look, not to. We're going so out like off the rails on a crazy train here.
Yeah.
Kim Bokdish. I'm not going to spell it for you. Is a phenomenal movie about a stuntman that falls in love with a doctor, and the stuntman just wants to be like Rambo. He just wants to be Sylvester Stallone's body double. So bad. And spoiler alert, Sylvester Stallone shows up in the movie because the whole movie takes place in LA for whatever reason, and Sylvester Stallone for no reason beats the snot out of a bunch of random thugs. Like he rips a parking meter out of the ground. It is so ridiculous.
Yeah,
you need to see it. So anyway,
watch some Bollywood films. They're actually pretty good.
Bollywood films. They're amazing. All right. So my pitch should be pretty simple and quick. Essentially, we're going to take our main cast minus Hugh Grant because he was the baddie, and he spoiled again. I'm as subtle as a battleship driving.
Spoiler
down.
alert!
Yeah.
If you haven't watched Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves,
he dies horribly. No, I'm just kidding. He's in jail at the end of the movie, which I think is funny. But we're going to take our main cast, which is Chris Pine, Michelle Rodriguez, Justice Smith, Sophia Lillis, and Chris Pine's daughter, And I guess Michelle Rodriguez's like adopted daughter.
Yeah.
Kira, Chloe Coleman, and then I'm going to end up bringing the Paladin back in at a later point. So essentially, I think we'll just open up with like our characters being thieves, because like I don't think they ever straight up said in the movie like, all right, we're never doing this again.
Yeah.
I think he just wanted to be a better dad. So
yeah, they never. It was very vague on whether or not they were going to keep being thieves at the end.
I think
it's one of those things where it's like in the D&D world, like being a thief is kind of a profession as long as you don't get caught.
Yeah.
Like how adventuring parties are technically you're murderers. You just get paid for it.
You're just murder hobos. But they also like sort of heavily implied that like Chris Pine's character would go back to that like order of people.
Right.
I can't remember what they were called.
The Order of People.
I don't. It was some kind of like secret like police force.
It was just like I think like the Templars or something like that.
Yeah,
you know, like,
it was. I don't even. Yeah, it was an interesting. But he's a bard.
he's a bard.
He's a bard.
Kind of. He's also kind of like a fighter.
I think he's like a fighter bard multi-class.
Multi-classes.
Yeah. Michelle Rodriguez is just straight up barbarian. Just straight up barbarian. The only thing I would have liked to have seen different in that movie is like they could have CGI'd her up when she was raging.
Yeah.
But that's really it. So anyway, we're gonna have all them same cast, and we'll just start on like some sort of narration of Chris Pine, like recapping events and like telling where the gang's been.
Dude, what you need to do is bring in Michael Pena and have him just, all right, this is what happened.
I like that, but
anyway, you didn't do that. That's fine.
No, I didn't do that. That's great though.
That's the next D&D movie.
Yeah. So no, we'll just have Chris Pine just sort of give a recap, like any DM would, of the story so far, basically where they're at. We'll touch on like they're trying to do good, so they're still like sort of Robin Hooding for people. And like fighting corruption, but they're still stealing on the side for themselves. Like they're thieves, they're good at it, they're not going to stop, but like they're trying to do better than they were doing. And then I think we'll have like, I don't want them to get caught. I think we did that in the first movie. There's no need to do it again. I think we have the Paladin show back up and tell them that he has a quest for them.
Yeah.
And the quest is that an eccentric like sorcerer is building some kind of preserve on an island, and he's been gathering a bunch of different magic users to accomplish this, but he's been resurrecting like long forgotten monsters and like really dangerous creatures and keeping them in pens on this island.
Yeah.
And he, I guess, wants to invite people to see these creatures, but in like a safe way.
I don't know. It's Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it's Jurassic Park. So
you got like 2 sentences in this pitch. It's Jurassic Park.
It's Jurassic Park. It's 100% Jurassic Park. All right, so but the Paladins.
I love how you went, like you paused and you went, put it in a safe way.
Put it in a safe way.
Sorry, go ahead. That's really what gave you away, man.
I was trying. Put it in a safe way. But anyway, so they the paladin's worried that like this guy's like way over his head. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't think the guy's evil, or that like anyone's like taking advantage of him. He thinks he's just like way out of his depth. So he secured invitations to the island under like false identities for himself and our party. And so they're gonna go to, I don't know what I'm gonna call it. They're gonna go to Jurassic Park. So
yeah, they
go via airship because I think airships are cool. And they get there. Really... They get there, and we're gonna see a lot of like hippogriffs and griffins and stuff like flying around. Like
hippogriffs.
Yeah, that's a D&D monster.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a made up Harry Potter thing.
No, it's an actual. What is it?
Hey, cool.
Yeah.
Learned something new today.
I have my monster book up on my computer.
I mean, I should know everything exists in the D&D world.
Yeah. But like it's essentially an unaligned creature. Like it's not evil. It's not good. It's just don't mess with it and it won't mess with you kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you'll see hippogriffs, griffins flying around. I think there will be some actual dinosaurs because dinosaurs are in the monster book. Just roaming around. And they get there and they're greeted by the eccentric, sorcerer or whatever. And instead of doing the whole like laboratory, like, oh, we found dinosaur DNA and amber, like it's just gonna be like, like myself and my group of insert creepy ass cast of like necromancers and forbidden sorcerers. It's just a real like, I think you can comedically do it where like everyone's like the room is like real bright and vibrant and they're like, yeah, me and my team brought them back, and then you pan over and it's like dark and decrepit and evil. It's like shit looking.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh god. And then you just see some like a little like baby beholders like hanging out over in a little.
Oh god.
Yeah, like it's gonna
go bad real fast.
Oh, it's gonna go so bad. I mean, it's Jurassic Park. So
go check out my beholders, guys.
Yeah.
In a safe way.
So it's essentially just gonna be like them like in like a horse-drawn carriage going around this zoo. And so I think to pay homage to Jurassic Park, they're going to go buy like the T-Rex pin. It'll be one of the first they go. And when they get there, like they have like a goat sitting out, right? Just like they did in the movie. And nothing's going to show up. And they're like, all right, well, what's going on? And then I think we have something... It's hard for me to think like, because it's high fantasy, so like there's electricity but not in the same way.
Yeah. It is like it's always weird because like there's really no time frame in the D&D world.
Yeah, it's a mixture.
It's a mixture of all different eras.
It's like Final Fantasy like 14, like it's high fantasy, so like there's obviously like automatons and
I think they used to apply with magic.
Yeah. So I think
they even make fun of that in Critical Role. Like, can't you just magic it? And
yeah. So I think instead of like the cars breaking down, I think the horses like get spooked and break away from the carriages. So the carriages are just sitting there, and then we'll have like the host use like message of sending to like Chris Pine and be like, we're having some difficulties. We'll get you some new horses. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And then like they're like, something's wrong because this is D&D. So like they have to investigate, right? So they're gonna look around. They're gonna get out of the cars and they're gonna look around, and then the closer they inspect the pin where the T-Rex is supposed to be, they see like half of the T-Rex like carcass. That thing's dead because this isn't Jurassic Park. And then they're gonna see Well, they're gonna hear like some like growling, and like,
Yeah.
what's that? And then the ground's gonna start shaking, and then I'm gonna have, and I'm probably gonna butcher a lot of these names, a boulette.
Yes.
Bullette.
Mm-hmm.
It's a massive predator that terrorizes any land it inhabits. It's also called a land shark, and it basically looks like a turtle shark.
Yeah,
it's hard to explain, but it's a large monstrosity is what it's classified as. And so I think that'll probably be one of the final things they have to fight. But yeah. I think I'm going to emphasize like the idea that they try, it doesn't go well, and one of the red shirts that also came with them is going to die horribly.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be like, we should run. And they're going to run because in D&D, you don't always fight. Sometimes you run.
Yeah.
And so they're going to have to run through this park. And I think they're going to come across a lot of different things like... I think they come across like a water area that has like an aboleth, which is like a primordial monster.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know what to call it. It's a giant squid thing with like rows of teeth and like 3 eyes. It's creepy looking. We'll say they don't actually have to fight that.
Yeah.
But they do have to fight a behir. So a behir is like a lizard snake with a bunch of legs.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's a really big thing. But we'll say between all of them, they work their magic, so to speak, and they kill it, right? Yeah. I think this time around, I want to actually show off like the capabilities of a bard.
Okay.
Like I want them to
That's
like
smart because they kind of did a little like minor image,
but not really,
point.
Right? So like I kind of want them to show off what inspiration would look like. Mm-hmm. So I want them to get like just be getting their asses handed in by this thing because it's a huge monster.
Yeah.
And I want them to be like, what do we do? Yeah. I really want him to pull out that loot and just start jamming.
Yeah. Like
full Scanlan style. Like just going to town.
Like when they did the Rage song when they were doing the Killbox episode.
Yes. So I want some of that. And then just like visually, I want to see something where like everyone just like, I don't know if you do it where like they all just kind of like heal a little bit. Where they have visible wounds on them that just close up and they're just like, or something, or they all just.
I think that's kind of how it works in D&D anyway.
Yeah, so something like that, just visually that you can see like, fuck yeah, let's do this, and they just get up and like go for it. And then I also want to have Sophia's character, the druid, do something other than wild shape.
Yeah, that's really all she did.
She dumped all of her stats in wild shape. And that's fine. It was cool. But for the actress's sake, watching like some of the interviews, she was barely in the movie.
Yeah.
And thinking back on it, she's barely in the movie. Because her character is CG'd. Mm-hmm. It's just in different animals. And like she even talked about it one day, like when the poster came out, it's all of them in the owlbear. She's not even on the poster of the movie.
Oh, that's a shame. I thought her character was really fun.
Character's great, but she really didn't do a whole lot. So this time around, I think her and Justice Smith's character are like at this point they're like married. Let's just do the thing. They're married. Because they hinted at like a relationship sparking at the end. I think this movie takes place like 2 years down the road, they're married.
Sure.
And she's doing more druidy things. Okay, so she's doing like controlling plants and like
I do want to see somewhere where she's talking to plants or trees.
Yeah, I
tree
think
striding would be nice.
Yeah, I think at some point she like straight up just like asks a tree something, and I think we actually get a conversation with the tree and not just like Vox Machina, right, where you have Keyleth like talking to something and like you don't actually hear it. It's just like she's just talking to a plant, unless it's
Critical Role, you hear it.
And Critical Role, you'd hear it. So in this instance, I want the audience to actually hear it, but I still want the shot of like everyone watching her, and it just looks like she's just talking to a tree.
Yeah,
where it's like she walks up and she's like, "Hey," and like touches the tree, and there's some like green like druidy magic that pulsates through it. And
because real talk, like I don't mean to change stuff right here, but like in Vox Machina, when she talked to the Sun Tree, I so wanted. The Sun Tree's such a cool character.
Sun Tree's just like a stoner.
It's so awesome.
It's so good.
Can't really say much.
Yeah,
because I'm a tree.
Because I'm a tree. Like, and I think we lead into that where she's just like, "Hey, man." He's like, "Oh, hey." Nobody really stops to talk to me.
Hey.
What can you tell me about these creatures? Not much. I'm a tree.
I'm a tree.
Like, and I think we get what's his face that voiced Olaf to do the voice of the tree.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think he's. I can't remember his name. Saved my life, but he's funny as hell. Josh something. He's funny as hell. He's funny as hell, and I feel like just hit like I don't know. I'm a tree. I kind of went that way. What way is that? I don't know. I can't really point. Just
I don't know what north and south is.
Yeah, just
I'm a tree.
Yeah, just some really just like I don't know. I can't really help you, but like upbeat about all of it. Like I'm just happy to be here. I'm a tree.
I'm just happy to have somebody talking to me.
Sucks about Jeff. He got bowled over. Like just nonsense. And then you just see like you pan out and you see the whole gang just looking at her off in the distance, and she's just like laughing, talking to a tree, and everyone's just like. I think there's some good moments of Chris Pine just looking at us like, everything okay at home? Everything good? Yeah, man. Why? No reason.
No reason.
No reason. Like just real awkward silence. Like, yeah, everything's good.
Yeah.
And then like I think we will continue. I think we'll see some more monsters that they don't necessarily have to fight. Like I think we can see a chimera. They don't have to fight a chimera. That would be a lot. And it's a lion with a goat and a dragon. Like it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot. I think we just see it. I think we see. I think they'll see and maybe kill a few cockatrices.
Okay.
Which are like demonic lizard chickens.
Okay.
So I think they get swarmed by those at some point, and we'll have Justice Smith do like a firestorm and kill them all. Cause like I still want to play on the fact that he's still kind of bumbling, like he's still not like a fantastic wizard, but he's still a good like. He's obviously better than the last movie. But he still lacks like some confidence.
Yeah, well, he can't be level 20.
Right, but like he's at a solid level 11. You know what I mean? Like he's just like
he's got some high level spells. He got level 5.
Yeah. So he'll bust out like a firestorm or something. I don't know if that's not something you could do at that level. I don't know. Bite me.
Take her ignorance is hilarity.
So we'll do that. I think we'll see some more dinosaurs. Like I think we can see like a plesiosaurus, which is, you know, it's just a like a water dinosaur. We could probably see a triceratops. Actually, we will see a triceratops because that's going to lead into like the next monster they have to fight. Like you'll see a bunch of triceratops and then be like, wow, this is insane. And then you'll see it like act like it's spooked. And like it's like getting ready to charge up, and they think it's going to charge them, but then a Gorgon's going to charge out, and they're going to the Gorgon's going to plow through the Triceratops. Because if you don't know what a Gorgon is, it's a giant metal bull, basically.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought a Gorgon was like a
a Medusa.
Medusa.
Yeah, no. So a Gorgon is a large monstrosity. Let's see, horrific structure. Gorgon's iron plates range from steely black to gleaming silver, but this natural armor is in no way hinders its mobility. It like secretes oil to lubricate the armor. It essentially like breathes like a noxious gas. Like it's a very, very formidable foe. Its actions, it can gore, it attacks with its hooves, and it has a petrifying breath. So it can petrify you. And so they'll have to fight that. And I think we'll have a moment where like half the party gets petrified, and it'll be like Michelle Rodriguez's time to shine. And I think we'll have Chris Pine give her inspiration, and then I think we'll actually have her declare a rage, and then CGI like veins pulsing and like actual rage.
Bloodshot.
And then like I think we can maybe even like do something with the weapon, like it affects her weapon, like her axe like grows or something. And then have her just like beat the shit out of this Gorgon. Like that'll be her big moment. And Chris Pines because I don't think I want any like I don't think there's a need for any like big character drama out in our main group, because we kind of had that, right? The movie's basically about Chris Pine trying
they're a unit now. It's kind of like how the first Avengers movies, there was a lot of infighting, but really not like that anymore.
Right. So this is definitely more like we're a cohesive unit. They still rag on each other. There's still a lot of comedic like chick talking to the tree. Like it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be real funny. You know, I think we'll even have some more like awkward sexual tension moments between Michelle Rodriguez and Chris Pine. Just like, I could kiss you right now, and she'd just be like, if you do, I'll kill you. Like just like because she's real blunt. She's kind of like Drax. But like she's, I think we have a lot of that, and then I think get
over my head. I would catch it.
I think we'll see some, like, we don't necessarily have to interact with them, but I think we'll still see some blocks of slime, you know.
Like a cube.
Some oozes, as they're called. And then I think it'll all loop back around to the final boss. So you think they're going to fight the giant land shark. I think it'll all culminate sort of in the same way like Jurassic Park does, where like all the park staff basically dies. And so the park staff being these crazy like warlocks and necromancers and scientists, whatever, you know, that they use to bring these things to existence. Like they'll be like, we brought these things into existence, we can take them out. And then like they'll go out and just get murked. Just obliterated. And I think for fun we could probably cast some of the Critical Role people. I mean, I'm just saying. Matt as like a creepy necromancer would be so good. So good. So I think we do that. They die horribly, and then you're just left with like the benefactor guy who's just like, I just wanted to bring joy to people's lives. And I think it culminates with them coming up against the boulette again, the land shark, and then they're like, all right, we can do this, and then it just explodes and they have to fight a beholder. Because I think a beholder should have been in the first movie. I mean, it's like the most classic of D&D monsters.
I mean, besides a dragon, it's a beholder.
It's a beholder. So I think you can have a really epic fight with a beholder using all of its eyes, and because like it can do so many different attacks.
Each of its eyes does a different thing.
Like
first of all, whatever it's looking at cancels magic.
Whatever's looking at cancels magic. I think we actually show off some more lair actions. Let's see. So we got it's eye rays. Okay, so it's got a charm ray, paralyzing ray, a fear ray, a slowing ray, innervation ray. Targeted creature must make a DC 16 concentrate or take necrotic damage. Failed save. Telekinetic ray, sleep ray, petrification ray, disintegration ray. I think we had the benefactor get disintegrated.
Sure.
Because I want to show like most of these off. A death ray, I think we'll have one of the main characters get death raid. I think we have like Chris Pine get death raid.
A resurrection thing.
So we'll not do. They got to succeed on DCs. So, and I think there's a clever way to do that. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but there's got to be a way to visualize a death save.
Sure.
Whether it's some form of like CPR or I don't know. There's got to be a way to do it. I just can't think of it. There's a way
to do it. Yeah. Somebody smarter than us can think of it.
So I think if we visualize, like him failing like a couple death saves, or at least one, and then succeeding and just like barely coming back, and then them healing him and he's fine at the end. Yeah. But I don't think we lean on the daughter, because the daughter like ultimately like won the battle in the first movie. Mm-hmm. I think we still have her doing cool things. Like she's still got her little amulet that makes her invisible and stuff like that. But I think we like just straight up lean into her being a rogue.
Yeah.
And so go for it. She's learning how to like sneak and stab and throw daggers and stuff like that. I think that'd be really cool. Like
dagger.
Have her take out like the death ray eye.
Oh man, you froze. Okay.
So did you? It's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we have her take out like the death ray eye after it hits her dad. And then I think we give the killing blow to the druid.
Okay.
I think we have her
give her some love after the first movie.
Yeah, I think we give her a moment of just like Super Saiyan mode, basically, where she just impales it with a bunch of vines and trees and stuff, and just like just murders it.
I love it.
Just murders it. And then our team makes it out. I think at some point there's probably a big fight where like our paladin can shine, because he didn't really get to do a whole lot. I think we have him. I think maybe I had some monsters pulled up. Let's see, because I want him to have an epic fight. All right, yeah. So I think at some point they run into a Chuul, Chuul, which is like a crab monster looking creepy thing.
Sure.
It's a large abomination. But it's like chaotic evil, and it's a primeval, like it's weird. It's really creepy looking. And so I think them like going through some underground caves, and like I think everybody just like slowly dropping due to some kind of, I don't know, we'll call it lair action or whatever. Like everyone just kind of keeps dropping for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And we'll have our paladin, like we need to show off how a paladin works and like divine intervention. And so I think that'd be a good way to do that. Like have him pray to whatever deity, right, that he's like aligned to, and then have like just a god, like something happen, right, that allows him to just smite this thing horrifically.
Yeah.
But those are the broad strokes.
I like it. I'm here for it.
And then they go home and they're like, God, I hope that doesn't happen again, right? Yeah. But I think, I think that's just a real,
Now we're gonna live our lives peacefully.
Yeah.
Until the next movie.
Until the next movie, where somebody else tries it and they get out and they get in San Francisco. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just think you can do Jurassic Park, but with D&D monsters.
Yeah. I think so too.
And it'd just be just a funny little romp.
I like it. I'm here for it.
So that's it. That's my pitch.
I like it.
Dungeons and Dragons, Jurassic Park.
All right. So I gotta preemphasize my pitch here.
Okay.
When we were talking about this, and you're like, "We're gonna do a sequel to D&D," I don't know why I didn't think that you meant D&D on Among Thieves. So I came up with a pitch for like another D&D movie.
It was your idea to do a sequel to this.
Yeah, I know. I'm never said I was bright. So I do have a D&D sequel movie. It's just not necessarily Honor Among Thieves.
It's the same cast, though?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. So essentially, whatever happened in that movie, that was great. And I feel like it kind of works because there has never been a direct sequel to a D&D movie.
Yeah, I mean, there were 3 Dungeons and Dragons movies that are technically sequels to each other, but the cast doesn't carry over.
It can take place in the same world. That's fine. Sure. In fact, it does, because a lot of my stuff I mentioned is like there's like Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate there.
Yeah, sure.
And everything. It takes place in the same world, so that in my opinion, it works. I'm using a loophole. I know I'm using a loophole, but it is what it is.
That's fine.
So I recasted everything. It's a different movie altogether.
Okay.
And also, I wanted to make the D&D movie that I kind of wanted to see.
Well, I mean, at the same time, they don't necessarily have to use the same cast for the next movie. They could cast a whole new group of adventurers.
True. And we're going to go with that route. That's what they decided to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's
D&D. Still under the D&D monochrome. Yeah. It's still that. I don't have it in here, but maybe, Chris Pine character does show up at one point.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's fine. I mean, it's like Critical Role. I mean, they have new characters every campaign. So
yeah. So that's what we're going with. It's a new movie, so it's a new campaign.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
New characters.
Perfect sense.
All right. So I also kind of attributed a movie to this that you're gonna get immediately because it's gonna be blatantly obvious.
Okay.
Again, like 3 seconds into this, what I decided to do, but I liked what I was doing with it. Huh?
But safely.
Safely. That was the greatest way I've ever been like, dude, it's Jurassic Park. You're gonna go look at these monsters, but safely. Also, I made mine really tropey, and I know that the original D&D movie, like the one from 2000, was like garbage and people hated it. But you also got to realize when that movie came out, it was 2000. D&D was not in the mainstream in 2000. It was only like in the last 10 years it really started getting any type of real momentum, and that's because of stuff like Critical Role and Dimension 20 and Dungeons and Daddies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So those shows have kind of brought it into the limelight. So we're going to start off at a bookstore, and we're going to start off outside of a bookstore. And the first image you're going to see this gray cloaked figure, right? And he's standing across the street. You always see the back of him. And he's standing across the street looking at this bookstore, right? And there's a kid in there. Not a kid. We'll say like a teenager. He's in high school.
So is this like modern day?
Modern day.
Oh, okay.
Modern day. Bear with me. It's going to make sense.
So he's in like a Barnes & Noble right now, not like ye olde bookstore.
Kind of. It's like, we'll say it's a Barnes & Noble just for...
Or local bookshop. But okay.
He's at the local bookstore, the local comic shop, and he's browsing through the D&D selection, right? Because he's running a one shot or a campaign with his buddies, and they're seniors in high school, so they're about to graduate. Like it's like their senior break, and they're all about to like go to college and stuff like that, and it's all like the emotional time. They're like, oh, I know all your friends are gonna be leaving and whatnot and what have you, and maybe one of them's like, the real jock dude, they're the typical stereotypical like this group shouldn't be friends but they are friends kind of thing,
right? Like the Jumanji cast.
Right, almost like this is where I got my inspiration from.
Got it real quick, bud. Got it real quick.
Safely. Yeah. So anyway, he picks up this old tome kind of thing, and then the person's like, yeah, this was like an old edition kind of thing. You can kind of, work it into 5th edition if you needed to. Everything can be brought up to like modern standards if you need to. But it's a pretty cool story, really classic one. He's like, oh, cool. So he buys it. He's like, I'm going to go DM with my friends. And they all show up. There's 4 of them, group of 4 friends. You got Liam, you got Danny, you got Jeff, and you got Matt. And they're all no-name actors. These are just like rando people, right? I don't care who they are, but they're all like there, and they're all playing. And as they start playing, they start to realize it's like rumbling, and like the lights are going out, and then you cut off to like the street level, like outside this kid's house, like because it's Liam's there. He's the main character, and he's the one DMing this thing. And it cuts out to like the background, like his house, and you see the cloaked figure again, but only the back of him. He's like a gray cloaked figure.
Sure.
And then like you see he's looking at the house again, right? And then there's like rumbling, and then there's like I think it's like an earthquake because like everything's moving, and then like boom, like the lights go out, and everything's dark, and they're like ah, and when they wake up, they're different people. One of them is a paladin. I left the paladin in there. That person's played by Amelia Clark.
Okay.
And that person is inhabited by Liam. So Liam's playing a girl, whatever. The other person is a fighter. Danny becomes the fighter. And it's by Chris Hemsworth, as I've decided to be is the fighter.
Of course.
Because I wanted a big brolic boy as a fighter. I thought about making him a barbarian, but I was like, they did a barb, and I don't want like two kind of like tanky kind of people there, even though it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't, but yeah.
I have a monk. Jeff becomes the monk, and that's played by Donnie Yen.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Because why not? And then I have a bard, and the bard is Matt becomes the bard, and it's played by Kevin Hart, because I think it'd be funny to have Kevin Hart dance around and sing songs all day. It's also tied into the original Jumanji movie. Well, not the original one, but the remake.
The remakes, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
So I did the ADHD thing, and that's how I figured, I was like, oh, this is Jumanji. But like, I honestly, I was like, okay, so when you introduce characters, is it The Rock, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, and Karen Gillan?
I almost made Jack Black the bard.
I was like, that's a little good. It's on the nose.
A little too on the nose, making Jack Black the bard.
Yeah.
Even though I would have loved it, I was like, nah. Kevin Hart seems I needed a funny person to be the bard.
No.
And I was like,
I think it's perfect, because Jack Black, you know damn well, it would have been an hour of I don't need that.
I don't want that. I love Jack Black. Don't get me wrong. I don't want that in my D&D movie.
No, because like I love School of Rock, but man, just play the guitar.
So anyway, they've all inhabited these characters, and they don't know how to use any of their stuff, right? Obviously, because they know certain the basics because they played Dungeons and Dragons, so they know like the paladin has divine smite, and that like a bard can give inspiration.
Eldritch Blast,
Blast, yeah. No. So anyway. They're like, oh, how do we get back? In D&D lore, it is established that there is different planes of existence. Like, it's nothing that like is like, what do you mean there's another world? Like, there's different planes of existence. So they go to ye old local tavern, because that's what you do in Dungeons and Dragons campaigns, and they go searching for information, and they're told of a mystic wizard that can help them go to another plane of existence. So they track them down, rather. And it's played by Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale plays this wizard lady.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, I'll absolutely help you.
But in a hot British accent.
Yeah, I don't know how to do a British accent.
No.
I can do a poor one, but I'm not going to do that.
No. All right, I'm going to help you. No.
You just went ahead and did it anyway. But anyway, she's like, yeah, I have no problem helping you out. Slight problem, though. The plane of existence that you're from is like locked behind this spell or whatever. Like, we don't go there to that place, and the only way you can do it is you have to get a holy artifact. So we're gonna have to go on a quest to get this holy artifact. And like, oh, cool, where's the holy artifact at? And they're like, it's on Mount Ergonadai. And they're like, I'm sorry, what? And they're like, Mount Ergonadai. And it's like, that sounds a lot like you're going to die. And it's like, well, it's not, but it's funny because everyone that goes there does die. And I want it to just be the stereotypical, like, it's a sunny day, and they're like looking at everything, and she's like, it's over there. And then the camera just turns, and it's just like a volcano with lightning. And it's Mount Ergonadai. So like, all right, well, I guess we got to go to Mount Ergonadai. So They horse their way over there, and maybe they have to like fight a couple gnolls and whatnot on the way over there. You know, like just some scrap, just some trash mobs and whatnot on their way over there, just to get, you know, to like, they're learning how to use their abilities for whatnot. Like, they kind of need to know what they're doing when they're going to go into this Mount Ergonadai thing. It's absurd. I know.
I love it.
So they finally get there, and from there, the rest of the movie is pretty much just like really sick dungeon crawl. And I put like a bunch of like tropes in there that I just want to see that are really cool from like D&D stuff. So like there's a lot of old, like, since it's in the Forgotten Realms or whatever the area is called, that these movies take place in. I think it's called the Forgotten Realms.
I think.
Like there's like some old school, like, you know, maybe you see Neverwinter in the background, and then, you know, they talk about boulders. It kind of did it in the first, kind of did it in Among Thieves.
Yeah.
Then maybe you hear, you know, see some, like, you know, because Dritz is like a very big like character. Like he's like the rogue dude that like everybody like talks about when you talk about the Forgotten Realms. Is this rogue named, he's a drow named Dritz. So maybe you see some artifacts from him or some statues of some other heroes throughout. I don't know a lot about like the Forgotten Realms, admittedly.
Yeah.
But you know, there's some Dragonlance.
It's a D&D movie that you could just mix all kinds of, like, you could honestly just be like, oh yeah, if you go that way, it's Taldore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, more not, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And there's like, oh look, there's some Dragonlance stuff over here.
Right.
Like there's some artwork for that or something like that. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I want them to, like, when they're going through all these fights and whatnot, I want someone to, like, the bard to cast hideous laughter, and somebody like laughs themselves to death. Like they laugh so hard they fall off a cliff and they die. Because I think that's what happens in D&D campaigns. Like,
it is.
You know, you can hideous laughter somebody to death.
Yeah.
It happens. And then, you know, if there's one thing I've ever known is like there has to be a scene where there's lots of planning and they're arguing and whatnot. And I want to take up a good 10-minute chunk of a whole movie of just them arguing and planning, and then immediately it falls to shit.
Well, I mean, that, like, the Honor Among Thieves was essentially like, how do we take a 4-hour planning session and make it into a movie? Because that's kind of what happened. They just planned the whole movie, and then like it was like it didn't work out, and they were like, oh yeah, well, we have like plan A and B and there's a C, but we don't want to go there. But like they just kind of did all three plans at once, and it was funny.
Yeah. So anyway, they're fighting up the side of, like, they go in the mountain. It's like a volcano. There's like lava and stuff anywhere.
Sure.
And they're fighting stuff up the side. You know, like they fight like the, you know, the harpies and stuff like that, and whatever random. Again, more just kind of like trash mobs as they're getting closer and understanding their abilities more and more and more. And then, you know, like maybe at one point they like, hey, what's over here? And they like stumble down like a cliff, and there's a beholder, and then they're like, oh shit, we need to run because it's a beholder. And that's what you're supposed to do when you come across a beholder. Is you're not really supposed to fight it. You're supposed to run and scream like a little girl, and that's what they totally do. They just run around and they scream and they get away from it. Like again, it's just classic D&D tropes.
Yeah. That
I'm just throwing in here. That things I just want to see. So anyway, they get to the big arching door where they're like, okay, the artifact could be behind here, right? So they go in, and by the way, Kate Beckinsale went with them, so she's part of the party now.
Cool.
Like she's there the whole time.
Thank God.
She's like the guide. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they don't know what they're doing. She's the guide for all.
She's
this.
the role of the paladin from Honor Among Thieves.
Also, I want to point out that the dude in the gray cloak is kind of like the observer from Fringe, where he's just always kind of. If you're paying attention, you can kind of see a little gray dot,
right,
like in the background at any given point in time. I mean, like he's just watching and he's just observing,
right.
And then at one point you see like he's really just a cloak. You can't see any face, but you do see like the little like band around his eyes, like he can't see anything kind of thing. And it's important to note that for later. All right, so they're fighting it. They come to the big entrance, and then, you know, they magic their way in because that's how D&D works. And there's like a puzzle that they have to solve. It's like this little pedestal. There's like a dome on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have to like kind of like move the pieces around to a certain level, and then it like clicks together, and then it opens. And in there is a D20. And essentially, they have to roll to try to unlock the artifact. So. And each one of them can have a chance. And after 5 chances, because there's 5 of them, each one of them have a chance to roll one time. And at the end of 5, they like get dropped in the lava. It's really what it boils down to. Like after 5 chances, you're getting dropped in the lava.
Yeah.
So, you know, really boils down to like 2 real rolls, but the other 3, like somebody rolls like a 17, and like the room flips vertically sideways, and they're like, there's no gravity, and they're like just like floating around. They have to try to figure out how to roll a dice in 0 gravity, and then then one of them rolls like a 6, and then like it starts filling with water, so they have to try to figure out how to like plug the holes and stop the water. Just little kind of puzzles like that. So anyway, there's 2 people left. It's the fighter Donnie Yen, and then the paladin Amelia Clark. By the way, they're just going by their real names too. Like when she's like, "Who are you?" to Amelia Clark's character, she goes, "I'm Liam Jefferson," or whatever his last name is, and they just refer to him as Liam. You know, like he could be like the Avatar thing where like he's Jake Sully.
Yeah.
He's Liam Jefferson or whatever, you know, like something that makes sense. Like anyway, so Liam has like the Will Wheaton disease where he always rolls poorly. So he's like, I'm gonna defer it to you. I need to go last because I'm the last ditch effort. You know what I mean? You need to go and roll before me. So he rolls a nat 1.
Oof.
Ooh, yeah, big oof. So then like he's like, well, I don't know what that means. And the tower starts to shake and the walls fall down. And then out from like the lava comes this red dragon. Just it's a Dungeons and Dragons movie. I feel like it has to be a dragon as the final boss. You know what I mean? So it's not like the fat red dragon from Honor Among Thieves.
It's like
it's like Thordak.
Thordak, yeah.
Yeah, like it is a badass red dragon, and it's blowing fire, and now they're fighting it, and like they're like, roll, you gotta do your roll. Like the only way there's no way we're gonna be able to beat this dragon. We're gonna barely survive this encounter. Like this is an elder dragon, like ancient elder dragon kind of stuff right here. So they're having a fight, and then like it knocks off the D20, right? And like you gotta go find it now to like in order to roll. So like they're trying to battle and try to find this little tiny fragment amongst all the rubble and whatnot. So Amelia Clark's character finds it, and she rolls it, but as she rolls it, she gets like hit by the dragon. So like it's like half roll, half like throw kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like, but it still counts as a roll. She still had it in her hand, and she still let it go. So then you do like it's from the original Jumanji movie, really. But like, you do the thing where like it's like bouncing off. Yeah,
you like
stuff
watch
in,
it in slow motion. Yeah.
Yeah, but like stuff's still happening in real time. But like every once in a while, you just cut to like the dice bouncing down like a stair or something like that.
Yeah.
And like they're still bouncing, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. Like some of them are like knocked out. A lot of them have fire damage and whatnot. Kate Beckinsale is trying to do whatever healing she can, like maybe pouring healing potions down their throat and whatnot. And then like Amelia Clark's like all like out of breath, and she like looks up, and the dragon's like just like roaring right in front of her face, right? Like the raw kind of thing. And then that's when you go to the dice, and it just slowly rolls over to a 20, right? And then boom, everything freezes. And then she's like, I don't know what's going on. And then from behind her, right, you hear so, and then she turns around really slowly, and it's a gray cloak guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes off his hood, and even though he has the bandana still on his side, it's clearly Matt Mercer.
Mm-hmm.
It is clearly Matt Mercer, and he says it because this is all I want to hear. He says, "How do you want to do this?" And, and then zoom, we cut back in to like the main faction, and she's all powered up now, right? And it's like she's dodging attacks, and like she starts running up the dragon, and then she just like slices through and cuts the dragon's head off. And then the dragon falls dead, and into like the shut up Siri. The dragon falls dead into the lava, and then like inside the dragon itself was the artifact that they need. So they collect that, and then they give it to Kate Beckinsale, who's like, that's right, I can send you back to your realm now, or whatever, your plane of existence now with this. I have whatever this artifact is. I haven't really thought through what the artifact is.
It's just the MacGuffin of whatever.
Yeah, it's just this big ball of light. That's what it is. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's a big ball of light.
Sure.
And then she goes, I hope now you truly understand the power of friendship. And they all go back to the road, and they make a pact to every couple months go back and play D&D, even though they're going off to college. and that's my pitch for my movie.
Hey man, I like it. I'm a sucker for a Jumanji movie, so I'm here for it.
So really, I didn't want anything too serious. I wanted a fun action adventure movie at the end of it, and I'm gonna be real honest with you. I built that whole scene up just so I can have Matt Mercer at the end say, "How do you want to do this?"
Look,
because I feel like you have to have him.
No,
Look, I know that there's other people on the Critical Role podcast or Critical Role. I love them all. They're all great people. But I started watching Critical Role from Matt Mercer, and I'm not saying he single-handedly brought D&D to mainstream, but he had a big hand in it. So I think you have to include him. You have to.
Yeah, I think all of them did really, but
yeah, they all did. But
in terms of like storytelling,
I only knew who he was when I started watching the show.
Same. No, Matt Mercer brought D&D storytelling to the mainstream, I think. And Brendan
Lee Morgan.
Yeah. Is right behind him.
Yeah, he's great too.
He's right behind him.
Yeah.
So no, that's great.
And maybe you pepper in like other cameos with Brennan or the other Critical Role cast members too. Maybe you have them in there. I'm not saying that they can't be in there. I'm just saying like specifically the one scene that has to be in there is that one because I feel like it's the most crucial.
I think the easiest way to do it would be to have the cast of Critical Role dressed up as their characters from like Vox Machina just sitting in the bar.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe
we'd ask them, but they're too busy drinking.
Yeah, and then just cut over to them just being drunk.
Yeah,
like I think that
most of the time anyway.
I think it'd be funny.
Yeah,
I think it'd be funny. No. That's great.
So yeah, not exactly the D&D sequel that like you had planned out, which yours was really good by the way too. It had a lot more technical stuff in it than I did, which I appreciate.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm a sucker for like like Jumanji or Zathura, like the just like sucked into the board game. Like
I love both those movies, so
love them.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make it. It's my pitch, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. And I had Dungeons and I had Dragons, and I feel like that's all that really mattered.
Look, those are the two base requirements, I think.
Yep. So. But anyway, which one of us rolled a natural 20 on these pitches? You can let us know by joining our awesome Discord. Cody, I'm sure, has posted a link somewhere on here.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, the links are all below. If you're watching on like Spotify or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, sorry, go find us on YouTube. I don't know how to link stuff on those. I don't think I can.
Well, whatever. There is a Discord.
Go to some kind of entertainment.net and there's links there.
You can let us know which one of us had the better pitch. Maybe you thought we both rolled natural ones and you have a better pitch than we do. Let us know.
Hop on the Discord.
You want us to pitch something in particular? There's a section for that too. And hey, while you're at it, Cody streams.
I do stream. I streamed today. I streamed Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Because today is Sunday at the time of recording, which is late.
Which is one day before you're going to listen to it.
It's one day, before you listen to it.
So Cody streamed yesterday if you're listening to it the day that's released.
Yeah, life happened. I might be streaming right now. I don't know.
Oh, who knows?
Who knows?
Anyway, let us know what you think. And hey, make sure you like it, share it, subscribe, tell your friends. Tell everybody. Let them all know. Anyway, it looks like the elevator's fixed, my man.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we pitched and hopefully somebody caught it,
Two solid pitches.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody caught it. I like it.
All right, guys. Bye.
Hey.
How do you want to do this?
Dude, I was like, how can I get it to where I can get Matt Mercer to say the words, how do you want to do this? And I was like, it has to be like a roll.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, it has to be a D20 that they're doing, which I thought was a pretty cool idea anyway.
Yeah, no, dude. That look, the shot of the dice in Jumanji is great. So like,
and it is.
They just doing it with a D20, even better.
Even as a slow thing, maybe it's a natural one at first, and then it slowly just rolls over to a 20.
Yeah, I think it's great. That's great.